Now, if you guys could just let me know what is your biggest challenge when it comes to following up with your leads. When you're generating leads from either just direct to consumer, or you're getting referrals from agents, maybe you're doing some Craigslist ads, maybe you're running Facebook ads, maybe you're buying leads. As that business comes in, as those potential borrowers come in, what would you say is your biggest challenge as it sits? So I just want to make sure I'm getting a good, put my finger on the pulse here of what the biggest challenges are when we're talking about lead nurturing, following up with our prospects, turning them into actual closed loans. Okay, so Adam says the biggest challenge is most people don't want to talk again. Okay, all right, so we got time management, not sure what to say. Let's see, follow-up that actually gets them to take action. Okay, so we're getting lots of good ones here. So okay, here's another one, not sure what to say. They're not opening my emails, getting them back on the phone. Okay, that's not sure what my call to action is. So lots of really, really good feedback here. And the reason why I ask that question is because of this really, really big statistic or series of statistics that you're seeing on the screen. Now, I got this from the DMA, so you can check this, double-check these stats at dma.org, the Direct Marketing Association of North America. And when we look at these statistics, it really drives home what's happening when it comes to those of us who want to grow our business. And whether this is intentional or just by accident is immaterial. It's the math is here, guys. And remember, we're in the business of sales, right? We're sales and marketing first, loan officers second. Mortgages just so happens to be the product that we market and sell. But until we sell something, nothing really happens, right? So if 48%, this is in all of the United States, if 48% of all salespeople in the United States don't even follow up once with the bulk of their leads, with the bulk of their prospects. Now, I've heard a million explanations of that. Well, you know, I like to cherry pick, and you know, there's a bunch of bad leads in there, and all this and that. But here's the thing: unless we have a crystal ball, guys, we don't really know who the good leads are and who the bad leads are, and just how much potential business is going down that drain because we've made a prejudgment call. Some of my biggest closings came from individuals that I originally had marked off mentally as that's probably going to be a pain in the butt lead, or that person's probably not serious. Sure, we may be right some of the time, but what about the times that we're wrong? That's business down the drain. So almost half of all salespeople don't even bother following up with the bulk of their leads. 25% of salespeople only follow up once and then they stop. So we might try to make a phone call, or we might send an email and go, well, they didn't respond, so I guess they weren't that interested. That's what we tell ourselves to feel better, and we move on. We move on to the easier business, right? Only 12% of salespeople even bother making more than 3 contacts with the bulk of their leads. 12%. That means 88% are not even making it to that 3rd contact. And the scary part of that is when we go to the bottom half of this list, that 2% of sales. So let's do the math here, guys. Let's do 2% of the sales are made on 1 contact, 3% of sales are made on the 2nd contact, okay? And then let's go ahead and throw the 5% in there. So 5% of sales are made on the 3rd contact. So we already see that between 48 and 25% of individuals. So what is that? That's over 70%, guys. What is that, 72, 73%? So 73% of loan officers stop by the 3rd contact. So in other words, they're only tapping into right here, the 2% plus 3% plus 5%. So that's 10%. So basically they're doing only 10% of the potential business that they could be, because they only want to cherry pick the really easy stuff, the people who are hunting us out, right? So at that point, they're not really salespeople. That's called order taking. If we're only tapping into 10% of the market, how big can we truly grow our business? The scalability is not there, because at that point, 90% of the mortgage population, the borrowers, the closings, 90% of them are going to the folks who do bother making more than 3 contacts, because 10% of those sales are made on the 4th contact and 80% are made between contact 5 and 12. And that's the scary part, guys. Now, is that audio cutting out on you guys? Can you guys let me know? I just got a notice from a couple folks who said that audio is kind of dipping in and out. Can you guys let me know? Okay, so we're good. All right, so let's hear your theories, guys. Why is this happening? because it's difficult to really judge anybody that's stopping after that first, second, or third contact because of just how difficult it really is when you're doing so many other things. But what would you say are the number one reasons why this is happening? Why are so many people just giving up after that second and third? All right, too many things going on, too many too many fires to put out, yeah, too busy closing loans, okay. You might feel like they're pestering the borrower. That's a good one. Tom says they're just lazy. Nice, Tom. But I agree. I've seen that too. I've seen that too. No good way to track and keep up a good system. Not convinced it's going to pay off. These are all wonderful, wonderful responses, and you're all right. And that's just it, guys. That's just it. It's freaking hard, right? It's difficult because what goes in to a good follow-up, how do you really convert a lead? If you want to do this thing scientifically, if you want the math in your favor and you say, boom, I want by, let's say, this time 3 months from now, this time of the month 3 months from now, I want to add an extra 5 closings a month. Okay, that is very doable. The math is there to support and say, yes, you can do that. But if you want to do that, we have to do it scientifically. And if we're doing it scientifically, then we have to pay attention to the math. And that's the hard part because, number one, ad copy. Let's get you type the word I am, or type the words I am into the chat box if you think you're a great copywriter. How many of you guys are great writers here? Great marketing writers. All right, I got 1, 2. I got 2. Anybody else? Anybody consider yourself a great? I'm not just saying average or pretty good or passable. I mean great, awesome. All right, so I got 2. Give you just another. Okay, I'm getting a bunch of no's though. All right. I would consider myself a no as well. I'm passable, but I'm not great. Okay. So you got ad copy. If you want a proper lead nurturing campaign, guys, you got to be prepared to author somewhere to the tune of between 70 and 100 follow-ups. And they have to be pre-written. And they have to follow a particular sequence. They have to follow a proper copywriting formula if you want them to actually convert and turn into closed loans. So how many of us have the time, even for the 2 that said yes, they're great writers, how many of you guys actually have the time to sit down and hammer out, or even the desire to hammer out between 70, 90, or 100 plus emails? I'm tired after about 4 or 5. Okay, Adam says he outsourced. All right, Scott, no time. Then I got a bunch of no's, no ways, no way, man. I got an are you crazy? So first of all, you got the ad copy, okay, and that's just covering the emails. That does not consider the ad copy that goes into video follow-up, article writing, free reports, and other things that are used as bait to convert these folks into closed loans. Okay. Number 2, the targeting. We need to have a means to actually go in and zero in on what these individuals want and what they're interested in versus all the other folks in your database. Now, I've managed databases as small as a couple hundred. I've managed databases over 250,000 of people on that database. How on earth are we going to find the time to actually go through and figure out who wants what? Do we have a little Rolodex? Do we have a little card file system? Once you get into the hundreds and then the thousands and the tens of thousands, as your database grows, including your past clients, which we should be mining for referrals anyways, right? How are we going to target them? And then we got tracking. We need to track the results so that we can compare an A/B split test and figure out which of the follow-ups are worth our time and which ones are wasting our time and wasting the time of our clients or our prospects or these folks that we want to turn into closed loans. We got the metrics, okay, are we tracking our metrics on top of that? So we got our basic tracking, and then we have the metrics, enough feedback from the actual campaigns, and then what about modifications based on behavior and actions, taken or not taken? This is how a top producer looks at what, hey, here's what I have to do. Here's what I have to put into action and make a reality. Get this off of paper, get this off my screen, and actually get this into a workable solutions-based marketing strategy. And that's the hard part. Very, very difficult, okay? But here's the result of saying too difficult. I'm not going to do it. Is that when we're not implementing a proper flow and a proper formula, just as we just saw on the screen of here's what you need to get done, then that means our conversion rate is going to be much lower. And since our conversion rate is lower, then what does that translate into? Well, then that means I need even more leads. So I'm actually wasting a lot of the leads or slipping through the cracks. And I actually need to generate more leads to close more. And since I need more leads, and that means I have to spend more money on marketing and more time, I have to go through more phone calls with more people. We call that kissing a lot of frogs, right? I got to kiss more frogs to get to the actual closed transactions. So it's kind of a catch-22. In the effort to save time because we're too busy to implement and get the strategy up and running, by virtue of that fact, we're spending more time in the office anyways trying to make up for the fact that our conversion rate is artificially low. It's much lower than it could be. A proper nurturing campaign can double and triple your conversion rate. What happens if you can convert double or triple the amount of people that you already are with the same amount of marketing and the same amount of leads? Right? But you guys know I love statistics, so I'm going to throw some even more statistics. I had to do a lot of research to run across this one. This was a very, very large, over the course of, I believe it was a 3-year study. Okay, and again, I love going to dma.org. You find all these great reports and feedback and studies. And this one was talking about why do people either not do business with you or have done business with you but then leave you for another company and do business with someone else. And this is talking about why that business is lost to begin with. Now, top one there, nothing we can do about that. 1%, well, they die. They pass away. We can't do anything about that. All right? 3% move away. 5% form other business relationships. So check that out. Only 5% of them are leaving because they formed another business relationship, okay, like a competitor. Only 14% are not coming back or not doing business with you because they're dissatisfied. But 68%, we're knocking on the door of 3/4 of the people, stated that they either didn't do business with the service provider or had done business but didn't come back a second time because of a perceived feeling of indifference toward them by their representative, which is just a long, roundabout way of saying I felt like they didn't really care. Right? I was just another number to them. And whether or not you did care or whether or not you did a good job for them, that is completely beside the point, because the only thing that matters in this case is their perception, because they are the customer. They're the ones that have to pick up the phone and come back. They're the ones that make that decision of whether they're going to give you their money or not. So it's their perception. If they're perceiving that indifference towards them, what do you think causes that? Well, part of that is a lack of proper follow-up. How many of us take time to make sure that every customer feels like they are the customer, not just a customer, but the customer? They're not just another number. Follow-up goes a long way towards that. Messages going out to them, emails, timed and scheduled phone calls to check in and communicate. It's that communication with them that makes such a big difference. Right? So when we see stuff like this, guys, it just makes a world of difference. So what I'm going to show to you here today is I'm going to show you my approach. Okay? This is something that I tweaked and tweaked and tweaked and tweaked and tweaked over the years, and just kind of broke it down to a formulaic approach to follow up. And I'm going to share these steps with you here. Now, obviously, step one in any process is we've got to capture the lead. So I know it's kind of goofy to have that on here, but you know what? It is an important step. It's the most important step, because without the lead, then there is no follow-up. So first of all, we have to figure out, well, where's that lead going to come from and how? What mechanism am I putting out there to capture that lead? Am I using opt-in forms on a blog, on a website? Do I have articles out there driving traffic? Do I have YouTube videos driving traffic? Do I have PPC campaigns sending people my way? Do I have radio ads out there? Do I have realtors giving me referrals, direct mail? What am I doing? What am I doing to capture that lead? But then once that lead comes in, if I'm busy, and we all know how that goes. We call it that roller coaster income, right? Roller coaster income, where your income goes down and goes up and it goes down and goes up. Why does it go down and go up? Well, because we're busy generating business one month, but then the following month We have to service that business. Now we got to be a loan officer. We're a marketer for 1 month. Then the next month we got to get all the deals closed and start getting the processing and whatnot. And what that means is usually customer service suffers because we don't have time to keep picking up the phone and sending useful information and data out to our prospects. So that's when they start to feel that indifference. So to help make up for that, or to keep that from happening, is I have an automated email that just goes out instantly. When they fill something out, when they request something, or when they give you their information, hey, I want you to pull credit on me, hey, I want you to do this, I want you to do that, it doesn't matter. Regardless of what 20 different ways a lead can come in, the very first thing that should happen is a thank you email goes out immediately. Why? Because they could have chosen someone else. That thank you message is to make them feel like they made the right decision. Now, if we don't even care enough to send a thank you message, then what sort of message is that sending to them? An unspoken one, an unspoken message. So that email, that follow-up needs to go out instantly, because when you're busy, chances are you're not going to have time to pick up the phone and personally thank them, or to confirm what it is they requested. Maybe they requested a free report or something. Boom, thank you so much for requesting this report on insert topic here. Right? Here's what you're about to learn. Here's why you made the right choice. And here's what to expect to happen next. Okay? It goes a long way towards forming that goodwill. They seem like such a small step, but it's actually a very big one. Now, the next step in the process is it's got to be about 48 hours. Okay? I don't want to hit them with another email the very next day because I don't want them to start to think, okay, what is this guy going to spam me every day? So I give them about 48 hours. But 48 hours later, so on right after day number 2, a second email goes out, and now I'm going to give them more stuff. Now I say stuff as in information, details, links to something really cool. Here's a great article that I thought you might find helpful. This is where we over-deliver. We're setting that expectation. We're setting the bar higher than the competition will be able to reach, and we do that by going above and beyond. So maybe let's say that I just captured a lead that came in the front door by using as bait. Let's say that I had an ad on Craigslist, the top 5 questions that you absolutely must ask a real estate agent before you pick your agent who's going to represent you. Okay, so let's say that's what they requested. An ad that I was running on Craigslist leads to a landing page. They put in the request, and boom, message number 1 goes out. But then 48 hours later, another message is going to go out. It says, hey, this is Chad Weber again. You'd requested the top 5 questions that you need to ask a real estate agent before you select who's going to represent you. But since you were interested in that article, I thought you might also find this interesting. So this is 7 more things that you should look for. And oh, by the way, here's a downloadable checklist just in case you forget the question. So always print this out and always carry it with you so that way you don't forget and miss one of these very, very important and critical questions. So you see what just happened there is I took what they requested, what I already knew they were interested in, and then I built on it and said, hey, even though I only promised you the report, I'm going to give you that report plus a secondary report that has 7 more questions on it. And oh, by the way, here's a downloadable checklist, which, by the way, has my phone number on it, that I want you to download, print out, and make use of, and maybe share with anyone else in your family that's a decision maker on the home that you're going to buy. So that's just a rough example. But that example can apply to anything, guys. I just use the whole realtor thing and questions to ask as an example off the top of my head, but you can apply this approach, the standard, the over-delivering bonus information 48 hours later can apply to anything. All right? So what I like to do is as I start digging deeper into my follow-up, guys, I want to make sure that I start sprinkling in links to my online assets. And online assets can be your website, it can be your blog, it can be a video, it could be an article that you wrote that's hosted somewhere. But bottom line is you want to get them out of email, out of the email. Because while they're in that email, that is one of the single worst places to try to sell somebody. I don't want to try to sell somebody through an email, and that's counterproductive. That's the exact opposite of the intent of an email. A follow-up email is there to stimulate just enough interest to get them to leave that email and go somewhere where it's less distracting. Just like the whole Facebook things. If you guys have done my Facebook webinars, remember how I talk about it's important to get them off of Facebook because it's so distracting. They can see videos, friends PMing them, and ads rotating. We want to get them out of that distracting environment. Same thing with email, because as soon as they close your email or another email comes in, they're seeing that notification. They might find something that perhaps piques their interest even more. So instead of risking that, let's lure them out of the email. So get them to click on something. I like to send them to my blog, to a video, to a webinar. Where can you send your prospects, your borrowers? Get them out of that inbox, guys. Now, what I'm going to do is over the course of about 7 to 14 days, as I'm sending these emails, and there's another very important reason behind why I'm sending links in my emails, is because I'm using that to track their behavior, meaning that if I can get them to my website, what's very likely to happen? When somebody goes to a website, guys, what are they bound to do? Can you help me out here? What do people do when they end up on websites? That's right, they click on stuff, articles, they read stuff. Now, with the way that I market, with the way that I follow up, I can see that behavior. I have a tracking pixel that reports back to me and says, hey, you know what? That person that you sent the article on the 5 questions they need to ask their realtors, well, when they were at your website, they actually clicked and read 5 different articles on debt consolidation and how to find out if you qualify for reducing your monthly payments, et cetera, et cetera. And then I send another email, and I find out a couple days later they're back at the website, and this time they watch one of my YouTube videos on there about debt consolidation. Well, I could keep sending them information on buying a home, but how dumb would that be to do that? When I'm having clear signals sent my way again and again and again, debt consolidation, debt consolidation, debt consolidation. The old-fashioned traditional way of marketing and follow-up, that person, I would be marketing to them the completely wrong topic. But since I'm tracking behavior, I can see this, and automatically they're going to start getting messages on debt consolidation instead of questions to ask realtors and buying homes. Because most likely this person is overwhelmed by monthly payments. Maybe they originally were thinking about, kind of sort of thinking about buying, but then thought to themselves, I can hardly afford the house I have now. My monthly payments are way too high. So shouldn't I be sending them something on debt consolidation, guys? So it's tracking that behavior. You're going to finally see what they're interested in. All right? So that's really what we're doing here, guys, is we're basically just setting this in a way, we're setting up our marketing in such a way that we're tipping the odds in our favor again, right? We're tipping the odds in our favor that we're going to be marketing to them the right way, the right message, at the right time. And then finally, I'm going to grade that lead and then decide how to proceed. So after I have some of this tracking under my belt, I'm going to take a look and see, okay, for this week, what are the top 10 hottest leads that I have right now? Or what are the top 20 hottest leads I have right now that are most likely to convert, most likely to do something with me? And I have a very set parameters that tells me what's a hot lead and what's a cold lead. Because I don't want to spend my time. I'm busy, right? So if I'm going to pick up the phone and actually start talking to people, I want to talk to the people where I'm most likely to score a home run, right? Because I want a full app. I want a closing. So I decide how to proceed only after I have metrics. Otherwise, without this, guys, without these bottom 2 or 3 things here, follow-up is just guesswork. It's accidental then. It's hopefully, I'll send them something that they're interested in. Hopefully. That's called cross-my-fingers marketing, and I don't like that. I like methodical and scientific marketing. It's targeted. The conversion rates are going to go through the roof, and flat, bar none, hands down, you're going to get better results that way. Now, I need feedback from you guys. Do you see how this approach would result in higher conversion rates? Why would this result in higher conversion rates? There we go, absolutely. Got some exclamation points there. Okay, there we go. Good, good. Okay, Adam, typically when we start applying, Adam's asking what kind of conversion rates have you seen versus the traditional methods? Well, typically speaking, when we start applying the method of tracking the behavior and then modifying and pivoting our message based on that behavior, we usually see somewhere around a 40 to 50% initial lift, just right off the bat. Now, as we go along and as we monitor that behavior and clicks long enough, we can almost assuredly double even that initial lift. Because as we're observing, we're going to learn a whole lot of things. We're letting our prospects, we're letting our potential customers and the borrowers tell us how to sell them as opposed to guessing. So it's a good 40 to 50% lift initially, and then we can double that as long as we're paying attention. Okay, so this is really the bird's eye view, I guess you would say, of the approach that I like to use. Okay, so we're not getting into too much of specifics just yet. We'll be doing that here in just a moment, but I wanted you guys to kind of get a good overview of how everything plays out. Okay? All right, so Lance, yes, you're keeping the communication relevant. There you go. Adam, I think more contact points means greater conversion. Absolutely. This is how customers want to be treated. You're giving them what they want. Thank you, Linda. Okay, so great feedback, guys. So we're heading in the right direction then. All right, so here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to exit these slides. You guys know I don't really care for slides, right? Now, I'm going to actually go into my platform here, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put together, just kind of show you how I start putting together my follow-up campaign, my lead nurturing, my conversion, and my my entire strategy, if you will. Now, I'm at the Mortgage Lead Machine dashboard right now. Okay, so that's what you're seeing. Now, this is pretty empty because this is a dummy account. Okay, because my actual account is filled with tens of thousands of actual loan officers. So I didn't think you guys wanted your personal information being broadcast to hundreds of loan officers here today. So that's why I set up just a dummy account that I can log into, and I'll show you guys how I put something together. So had this been a live account, or had I been in my primary account, if you guys recall, one of the things that I mentioned was I like to see who my hottest leads are for the week. Who are my most likely prospects to convert? And as soon as I log into my dashboard, the first thing that I see right over here, this is going to show me both my pipeline individuals who have actually entered into a pipeline, and then over here I'm going to see who my top contacts are. And I'm basing that off of interactivity, so engagement. In other words, I can come in here and I can actually see from these individuals just how engaged they are. Okay, so what are they reading? When are they reading it? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm just going to come over here. I'm going to click on campaigns. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to add a new campaign. And I'm going to name this. Let's say that I wanted to set an automated campaign for sale by owners. Okay, unless you guys have a better idea, I'm just going to go off of FSBOs. Does that work for everybody? I'm just setting up my my automation there. Okay. Now I go to my automations. And now what I'm seeing here, guys, is a graphical representation. Instead of having to imagine what my sales funnel looks like, I actually create it here graphically. Okay, so you'll see here, contact subscribes to a list. So all it takes is for an email address to come in the front door. And I click this little plus sign right here, and it says, what action would you like to add? Does it get any easier than that, guys? Look at it. Email going into my database. What would you like to happen next? What would you like to have happen next? Okay, I can have an email sent to them. I can have a text message sent to them. When a lead is captured, I could click here to notify someone, which means I can add up to 5 email addresses. So let's say I'm working with a bunch of realtors. FSBO lead come in. I can have an automated email be sent out to all my target realtors. And it's going to know, hey, here's a new person interested in selling their home by owner. Put them on a drip feed campaign, or do this, or do that. Or maybe I have a buyer lead come in. Okay, you need to start sending this person drip feed of homes for sale in this city or that city and so forth. So I can have these 3 actions immediately take place. Or I could take what's called conditional workflow actions. So I can say, okay, a lead comes in. I want you to wait 24 hours and then send this message. Or I have what's called if this, then that features. If this, then that feature simply means that if this happens, then I want you to do that. So I click here, and I select what conditions. So based on their personal data, based on the time and date it comes in, based on their location, their geography, based on actions. So I can click here and say, okay, if they've clicked on this link on my website, or read this article, or opened this email, or has forwarded an email, or has shared this on Facebook, I have all this conditional activity that I can track. And the system will track this and say, okay, when they do this, I want you to do that. So in other words, it's all automated, guys. It's like completely autopilot. I don't really have to do anything. I just set it up the one time. I set my instructions, and the system automatically does it for me, right? So I'm just basically taking a lot of this busy work off of my plate and just telling the system to do it for me. So I go back to here, and I have all sorts of other things that I can make happen here. I can update the contact. I can add tags to them, add a note, adjust the lead score, put them in my CRM, schedule a task for me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, Adam, Chad, can I import the list into the database? Yes, yes. If you have a list, absolutely, absolutely. Okay. So you guys see how that's really easy and that you have a graphical interface? But over here, I can click so that there's more than one way for somebody to subscribe to my list. One is if I upload them. Number two is if they go to a certain page on my website and so forth. But the one thing that I really want to show you guys that's kind of difficult to show you because, again, personal information, but once a lead comes in, I'm just going to go over here to contacts. Once a lead comes in, what the system does is it takes their information and it cross-references it with all the big databases out there, the same databases that Google and Facebook and whatnot tap into, and it pulls in their Facebook profile. It actually pulls in a link to their Facebook profile and puts it on here on my dashboard so I can click and I can send them a friend request on Facebook. Now, why would I want to do it? Oh, and it does Twitter and LinkedIn as well. So I'll know if they have a Twitter profile. I'll know if they have a LinkedIn and whatnot. So why? So I can monitor. Maybe they start talking about homes, buying a home, this, that. They have questions. So I can actually monitor and see when is the best time to reach out to these folks. But if they're not responding to my emails, what I found is if I reach out to them on Facebook, I get about a 70–80% response rate. Because if nothing else, they'll at least click to accept my friend request. It might sound like nuts, guys, but you'd be blown away at how well that works. Blown away. It's crazy. So let me go to my contacts here. I'm just showing you guys how I kind of build this stuff out. All right. Let me see if I have a non-loan officer here. Okay, so here's a dummy account. It also will research and find out if they have children. It'll tell me their homeowner status. It'll tell me the value of their house, how long they've lived at that house, what their occupation is. And in some cases, it'll even pull up their phone number, by the way. Kind of crazy. But it does all of this very, very quickly, guys. All of this is automated, by the way. So I could track if this person had done anything. Again, this is just a dummy account, so I haven't tracked any activity. But right here, it would show me in a feed everything that this person has done. If they ever go back to my website, whether they're clicking on and going to my website based off of an email or not, it doesn't matter. Once they're in my system, I can see every time they go back to my website what they look at while they're on my website. Doesn't matter if they're opening my emails. Again, very, very powerful, huh? Any notes that I want to make on that individual, add right over here. If I want to add any automations, I can add that over here. If I can add tags, so didn't pick up phone. So if I put that tag in here, what that means is I can come in here and I can search for contacts and tell the system, okay, please show me everybody that is a new lead in the past 45 days that has not picked up their phone yet. Boom, click a button, automatically have scheduled phone calls or a message go out to them. versus people who did pick up their phone. So I could create any tag that I want over here, and I can filter based off of those tags. Now over here on my campaigns, anytime I send out a message, guys, I can come down here and I can click, and I'll track everybody who's opened the message versus who has not opened my message. So there's a button here that I can click on, and it will tell me, or give me the option, would you like to resend this message to everyone who did not open and read it the first time? I click a button and boom, automatically sent out to all those people. Maybe it just got buried in their spam. You know, maybe they just had too many messages coming in and got shoved too far down. But now, what am I doing? I'm doubling and I'm tripling my likelihood that I'm going to reach these people, because I'm not just leaving it to chance. I have my reports right here in front of my face telling me, okay, 39% of the people opened the emails. How many people didn't? Would you like to resend? Yes. Click a button. It's only resent to the people who didn't open, so it's not bugging the people who did open it. Or I come over here to reports. Now in my reports, I can choose, check this out, right over here on the right-hand side of the screen. This shows me open read trends and top contacts and my contact trends. What this shows me is what time of the week is the best time for me to send my emails to get opened and read by these people. It also tells me the time of day. And this one just blew me away, because I had always heard, and maybe you heard this too, I'd always heard that Tuesdays and Thursdays are the best days to send an email, blah, blah, blah. And I always read this from all these gurus talking about that. So guess what I've always been doing? I've had the bulk of my emails going out Tuesdays and Thursdays. But shortly after transferring my database here to Mortgage Lead Machine, I pulled up a report here after 2 months of sending. It sure as heck was not Tuesday and Thursday, guys. It was Monday, 9 o'clock a.m. And also Sunday. Sunday, 10 p.m. was the second best day. So I started modifying what days and what time frames my emails go out, because I can tell the system, please send my email only at this time period of the day. So it's not just going out haphazardly. And now my read ratio and my open ratio has gone way up. Because, again, I'm not guessing. I'm taking the guesswork out. I'm letting the metrics and the tracking tell me. So automatically sales went up, just because I'm finally getting more messages read, because I'm sending them during the time periods and the days of the week when people are reading them. So what does that do for your database, guys? What if? Who are you marketing to? Do you have emails going out to realtors? Do you have emails going out to potential clients? Do you have emails going out to past clients, people in process? Who are you marketing to? Well, now you won't have to guess when is the best time of day and day of the week to market to them. My top contacts pulls up and shows me the top individuals who have opened and read my messages. So does that make sense so far, guys? How we take, again, what was guesswork, and we're turning it into something that absolutely works. We're turning it into something that's traceable, trackable, actionable. So very powerful. So in addition, all of my latest funnels, show here, my campaigns, these are graphical email templates. I think there's about 75, 80 of them in there. But ultimately, guys, it's just a matter of getting this put together. Now, here's the thing, is that's always the Herculean task. That's the big part nobody wants to do. So that's why I'm here to tell you today, guys, that one of the things that we're doing for individuals, because again, this is our newest, this is what we call the mini CRM that I've been just getting hounded with emails. Chad, please, 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 please make this available. Ever since we just kind of showed some sneak peeks of it several months back. We actually have pre-written campaigns covering everything from general purchase, for sale by owner, realtors, loans in process, loans closed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Entire campaign, some of them spanning out 8 or 9 months of follow-up, guys. So we're actually upbuilding the entire sales funnel and campaign for our clients of Mortgage Lead Machine, where we actually go in and we build your email server, connect it to the software, and we come in here and we actually build out all of your automation for you. Now, how powerful is that? So it's basically, it's plug and play. Now, if you think that's exciting, this is the part that really, really gets me super excited, because that's kind of cool. But the part that I really like is we're adding to those emails late November, early December, we're adding follow-up videos. So it's not just email content that's going out to these folks, but actual video. And yes, you can brand the video however you like. So these are videos, guys, that engage them and explain things about, hey, here's the top 5 things not to do after you apply for a mortgage. Oh, here's 10 myths about credit. Completely busted, et cetera, et cetera. These are engagement videos. So you can throw your logo on them, do whatever you want. The bottom line is it's helping to separate and differentiate you from your competition. But as we know, people are far, far, far more likely to watch a video than they are to read these days. So the more engaged you can get those individuals, you can come in here and track and see which videos are they watching. Now I know what topics they're interested in. So now I can customize the way I follow up or what I talk about when I call them. Imagine before you place a phone call to one of your leads, imagine just coming in here and looking at their tracking statistics and seeing what have they been reading about, which emails have they been opening, what pages on your website they've been checking out. Oh, I'm click here and I'm immediately connected to their Facebook profile. I can see what they've been talking about lately. I'm sitting here writing down little notes right before I pick up the phone. Now I pick up the phone and I know the hot topics and buttons to push. Do you think that might give you a better conversion rate, better opportunities on the phone to get this person engaged and talking? Pretty neat stuff, huh? The other thing is we have plugged this in. Let me see. I apologize, guys. Give me just a moment here. Okay, so for those of you who are using our mortgage lead pages, it completely plugs in with your mortgage lead pages account as well. So when you're coming in here and creating your landing pages, so I could just come in here and say, okay, I'm going to do a house hunting style ad, homes distress list, foreclosure, let's do a mortgage specific campaign, home affordability. Yeah, I'm going to do a home affordability landing page. And this will actually capture the lead. The opt-in forms from Mortgage Lead Machine connect through an API with your mortgage lead pages account. So not only is it taking the leads and dumping them here into your account, but it's also going to shoot them immediately over into the proper category in your mortgage lead machine. So if you're using mortgage lead pages, guys, you now have a means of instantly following up with all your captured leads right here in mortgage lead machine. So I know it's confusing, mortgage lead pages, mortgage lead machine, but it's kind of creating a brand here, if you will. So, okay, Chad, are you able to design your own templates complete with your own images? Absolutely, Jeffrey, absolutely. Let's see. Chad, what is the criteria for entering existing lists? Mike, for existing lists, the big thing, and I just got to throw this out here, it's not always, everything's not always perfect and roses and candy, guys. So I give you the good with the bad. I'd rather be up front. We do monitor for spam. Okay, it's as simple as that. I just tell you this because even though we just launched this last week, I've already had a couple people try to upload purchased lists. They went out and bought lists. So these were not opt-in, these weren't former clients, and they tried to upload them and then email blast to them. Our system catches that and immediately shuts it down. Okay, so the criteria is it needs to be legal. We can't be spamming, number one. Number two, it has to be a list that you actually own. It's not a purchased list. Purchased data, we're not going to allow individuals to send it, and here's why. Because if people are just spamming over our IP addresses and over our dedicated email servers, guess what happens? Everybody suffers. Because if something gets thrown on a spam list, then everybody suffers. That's why we're watching this so closely like a hawk. if we see a certain amount of spam complaints, because everybody's allowed a certain amount of spam complaints, right? Okay, that's just how it goes, because you can never stop 100% of them. Even people who've double opted into your list will still click spam. Okay, so you're allowed a certain amount of spam complaints, but if it exceeds a certain percentage, the system will be paused, and we actually go in and we manually have to inspect the emails to see is this spam or is this just some irate, crabby individuals. Okay, and if you're doing everything legally, fine, you're good to go. But if we catch individual spamming, shut down immediately. All right, so the criteria is make sure you own the list, make sure these are people who you have the right to be emailing. Okay, so pretty straightforward, but just in the name of full disclosure. All right, so hopefully that helps. Let's see. Chad, does the system have follow-up campaigns for and after closing and during the transaction? Absolutely, Scott. Absolutely. We sure do. So this is basically what comes with the system, guys. So the pre-written content modules, those are actually being uploaded as we speak. Okay, so here's how it works, guys. Is if you go to mortgageleadmachine.com, and there's two options. Okay, there's our basic system for the $67 a month, and then there's our premium system for the $79 a month. Now if you go to mortgageleadmachine.com, you'll actually see it says $89.95 on that button for the premium. That's because for the first month, basically, guys, we're actually going to set up and build your system for you. So that's for that extra $10, and then it goes to $79 a month thereafter. That covers you for your first month. We'll actually go in and build and even preload the emails for you and put them on that automated funnel feature. So kind of a no-brainer for $10, right? But for that premium edition, guys, what you also get is the ongoing new content. So I mentioned that we're going to be recording and adding videos for follow-up and all this other really cool stuff. That's for the premium account. Okay, the basic account, you'll get the initial emails and pre-written content, but you'll need to upload that. Okay, so that's more of the do-it-yourself package, and the $79, so just $12 more. It's the, hey, I want you guys to upload all this stuff for me and build it out for me, and then keep some new content flowing in. And we do that with the content, guys, to make sure that you're using the latest and greatest information. Nothing worse than going in and checking out something that you're sending out to a client, going, oh, this was written 5 years ago. This has, it's not even close to being accurate today. We know how things change in the mortgage industry, so that's why we set it up this way. Is we wanted to make sure that you guys are getting the latest and greatest. But the way it works is if you go to mortgageleadmachine.com and you grab a package, you're not going to instantly be able to log in. That's the bad news. The good news is the reason you're not able to log in is because we're going to build it for you. Okay, so within about 48 hours, you're going to get a email notification saying, okay, we built out your account. Here's your logins. And then within the next 48 to 72 hours, you'll see the content actually being uploaded because we're actually building out your funnel for you. So within 2 days, you'll actually be able to go in and start using it. And then by day 3 or 4, you're going to be able to go in and see actual funnels being built for you. Because, yes, we do this manually. We do it manually because we want you to use it because it works. Is there anybody out here today that would dispute that something like this works, that this approach works, that following and tracking and actually looking at statistics boosts conversion? Of course it works. But it only works when it's implemented. We already know that. And as 90% of you said at the beginning of the call, we haven't done it usually because it's such a pain in the butt, because we don't have time to write. We don't have the tools. We don't have time to go out and learn and become a programmer and build this stuff out. Because it does get very technical. That's why we built Mortgage Lead Machine, is we're taking all of those complaints and all those barriers away and saying, hey, well, we'll just build it for you. Oh, we'll just write it for you. And I can tell you right now, my costs for my copywriter is $25 an email. $25 an email. So your very first campaign has 20 emails uploaded to it. That costs $500 to duplicate that. Don't believe me? Go out and price out copywriters, guys. And I'm talking real copywriters, not going overseas where English is the second language. You know what kind of quality you're going to get there, right? We want well-researched topics. These are all written by mortgage-specific copywriters who have been writing for the mortgage industry for 5 years or more. So you don't have to worry about, are they sending a bunch of trash to my clients that isn't even relevant anymore because they did 5 minutes of research online and now they think they know what they're talking about. No, these are mortgage-specific copywritten articles. These aren't 2 or 3 sentence follow-up emails either. Some of these are 500, 600 words, full-blown articles and tips. Okay, and then we're going to supplement those with videos. Chad, what is the name of the site that generates the leads that this system follows up with? Oh, you're probably talking about our mortgage lead pages. That was the landing pages and lead capture. So that is something that mortgage lead pages, technically, guys, is not available to the general public yet. I basically, it's something that I rolled out to my loan officer marketing lab members. However, and you guys will need to call me if this is something you want to do. Here's what I'm prepared to do. If you're interested in both Mortgage Lead Machine and our Mortgage Lead Pages software, if you email or call us, I would be willing to bundle and give you guys a big, fat discount. Okay? Normally, Mortgage Lead Pages is going out to the general public at basically $100 a month. Okay, $97. Okay, and then for this, you're seeing the $79.95. If you want a discount, we'll bundle the 2 packages together. Okay. If you want our unlimited mortgage lead pages, that package normally goes for $149. That's where you can launch as many pages as you want. You get new landing pages every month and whatnot. I'd be willing to do both of them, mortgage lead pages and mortgage lead machine for $149 a month if you want both of them. Okay. So, but you'd have to call or email. cweber@averagejoelo.com. Chad, do we get a chance to see the emails before they go out? Absolutely, absolutely. You get full control. Keep in mind, guys, this is your dashboard. This is your lead machine. You have full control. Okay, so you can come in here and you can do whatever you want. You can say, okay, you know what, Chad, I like most of your emails here, but this one particular email just isn't that relevant to my city or to my clients or customers, so I want to change it. Okay, let me show you guys how an email goes out. Okay, so I come over here and I click on campaigns and I select that I want to create a new campaign. Okay, it says, okay, Chad, I see you'd like to create a new campaign. So do you want this just to be a one-time email blast? That's going to be a regular campaign. Do you want date-based campaigns? What's date-based campaigns? Holidays, for example. You know, I want a New Year's email to go out every New Year's. I want a Christmas email to go out. I want a Thanksgiving email. You come in here, guys, and you can just activate your holiday emails. Do I want it to be automation, so it's based on behavior? Do I want a split test? Do I want to do an autoresponder, et cetera, et cetera? Or I just go, you know what? All I want is a plain vanilla email. Just blast it out. Okay, that's fine. Click Next. Who do you want this to go to? I want this to go down to everybody in my Zero Down Homes list. Now check this out. This is the part that's really, really cool, guys. Segment my selected lists. Watch what happens here. Okay, it's asking me, do you want this to go to everybody in that list, or do you want to see who's done what and have it only go out to selected individuals? So I can add a condition and say, okay, if they're already in my pipeline, meaning they've already taken a loan application, then pull them out. You know, you can leave them in the list, but don't send them that email. Or I want everybody that's in St. Louis to get a different message than everybody that's in Chicago, Illinois. Maybe I market to multiple cities. Okay, so it'll actually track their geography for you, their location. Everybody that's actually gone to my website gets one email, but everybody who has not gone to the website gets a different email. Contact details. Everybody that has this tag that they picked up the phone gets the email, but everybody who has not picked up the phone doesn't get the email, and so forth. So I can get really, really specific in here, guys. Very, very powerful stuff. So now do I select, do I want to use one of the built-in templates, or do I just want a basic text-based email to go out? I want a text-based email to go out, okay? Sorry, I have my pen in my mouth there while I'm trying to type. So I just type out where I want the email to come from, my subject. I'm just putting something in there just for kicks. And now I can create my own email. Or you can just go in and edit the one that we already have in there. But here's my option again, insert conditional content. So I can actually write out 2 separate emails in one box. And I click here to separate it by a line, and it'll say, okay, all the people who did open your email get the message typed on the top, and all the people who didn't open it get the message typed on the bottom. So now it's completely personalized, and I didn't have to go out and create 2 separate emails. I use it in one box, guys. Again, we know that the easier this is to use, the more likely you are to use it. Okay? All right, so I'm going through the questions here. And, oh yeah, you can put it on a timer too, or tell it to send out at a certain time of day, or to wait for a couple hours, then send it out. So maybe you know that, hey, I want to put together a quick email blast, but it's too early in the morning, but at the same time I know if I wait, I'm going to get too busy throughout the day to send it. So you can actually write it early in the morning when you first get to the office, put it on the timer, and when 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock rolls around, boom, it'll blast it out at the exact time of the day you want it to. Okay, so Chad, where do I get leads to funnel into this campaign? Well, earlier I was talking about our mortgage lead pages, okay? So if you guys are interested in that, you're going to have to send an email to cweber@averagejoelo.com or just call me, okay? Somebody will answer the phone and take your order, okay? Or if you have questions about it, again, just shoot me an email. We have folks using this on Craigslist. We have folks using this for on Facebook ads because, oh, by the way, you create opt-in lead capture forms as well. It has a lead capture form builder that's completely customizable, and we'll even share it on Facebook and Twitter and all at the click of a button. But basically, whatever you like, guys, or if you just have an existing database, put your existing database into the funnel, even if they're phone leads, trigger leads. I mean, I don't care where you're getting your leads from. Bottom line is we know that all leads need to be nurtured, good leads and what we might be writing off as bad leads. Because a lot of those bad leads, they're only bad leads because they're not ready yet. They suddenly start treating you a lot better when they actually need your services. Oh, crap, you know, I'm looking at homes and I just found my dream home and found out I don't even know what I'm qualified for. I don't even know what my credit's like. Suddenly, they're treating you great. But if you're not nurturing and staying in front of them, what are the likelihoods? What are the chances they're going to come back to you? Okay, so now what I'm going to do, oh, and for those of you, I'm getting some questions on the phone. That is 636-240-5758. 636-240-5758. Okay, for those of you that want to call in. If you need me to repeat that again, just let me know. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to my lists. Oh, by the way, it does pull your thumbnail image off the web, too, of every email that you capture if it's available. See, I put myself into the system. It managed to grab my WordPress avatar and my Facebook avatar and my LinkedIn avatar. So yeah, you can even see who your clients are. Pull the IP address, see their social media profiles, everything. But I can come in here and I go, okay, this is cool. What I like to do is create some email lead capture forms. So I'd like to create a subscription form. So I'm going to capture leads off of Craigslist, for example. I think I just saw I got Craigslist backwards there. Oops. That's just going to annoy me looking at that. So what it does, it creates a basic opt-in form over here. But as you can see, I have full control over the theme, the style, the color. Do I want images in the background? How detailed do I want? Or do I just want to keep it simple and just say, okay, I'm happy with that. And then I click to integrate it with my website. I can program automatic emails to be sent out when somebody fills out the lead capture form, everything. So there it is, my pre-written emails. Okay, so opt-in emails or integrate with my website. Now check this out, guys. My opt-in form, I can turn it into a QR code by clicking here. It's 200 pixel. I just downloaded a QR code to put on my marketing and advertising so people can immediately go to a registration opt-in form. I have social sharing right here. I can click a button and it'll automatically post my opt-in form to a Facebook page, group, or profile. I could post it to Twitter. I could post it to Google+. Click here to add to page right here. It'll become a page tab. So my subscription form will actually become a page tab on my Facebook fan page. All of this is built in, guys. Pretty slick, huh? Makes things a lot easier. It's all point and click simple. All right. Okay, so I see some requests. Yeah, let me type out that phone number for you guys here. Let me put it right here. Give me just a moment, folks. I'll put my email on here as well. It'll be shown on your screen in just a moment. And there you go. Okay, so for those of you that wanted to dial in, there it is. Awesome, Freddie. Glad you think so. Good stuff. So bottom line is I want you guys to be empowered to market the way that you've always wanted to, because I know you guys already know that this is, you know, I'm not showing you anything new as far as, hey, this is the ideal way to market, but the problem has always been, how do I do it, and how do I do it cost effectively without eating up a bunch of time, right? Because you got so many other things to worry about throughout the day. Who has time to go and program this sort of thing from scratch, right? Custom programming, if any of you guys have ever done custom programming, had software programs, 35 grand, $40,000 to program. Then you got all the bugs to worry about. So who has time for that? Or trying to jury rig a bunch of existing software that you subscribe to and make it all work and play nicely together. So this is the features that you really, really need to automate. Now, it's not a full-blown CRM, guys. I'm not here to mislead you. There's a reason I call it a mini CRM or a CRM Lite. It's because it's more of a lead management software. Okay, it has some functions of a CRM, but it is not a full-blown CRM. And the reason, because yes, we are working on a full-blown CRM as well. But the reason we decided to launch this first instead of our full-blown CRM is because we found that 95% of the features of CRMs are not being used. Most folks are interested in the lead aspects of it, of the automation, you know, and just the tracking. They want something that's easier to use, but a lot of those things are so feature-rich and so clunky that they just never get used. This has all the most used features of a CRM with all the fluff cut out. So you got the email autoresponder and marketing aspect, you got the tracking and reporting and metrics aspect, and then you got the pre-written content aspect. And I just want to reiterate, the pre-written content, guys, we are going to upload for you. When you first get your login and you log in and it's not there, don't flip out and go, holy cow, I got screwed. That's not how it works. We have to actually go in because we have to build out your funnel for you. Okay? So we will be doing that, and you'll see the campaign start popping up. Okay, boom, here's my general purchase, here's my FSBO, here's my realtor stuff, here's my my loan in process group, here's my past closing group, et cetera, et cetera. And then as new content gets deployed, if you're doing our premium version, the $79 a month version, you will continue to get new content as we release, including the video follow-up and touch points. And yes, we'll be doing a training. Yes, we will be doing a live hands-on training. You guys will be training directly with me. I'm going to make sure you know how to use your lead machine. All right. Awesome. Okay, I see a bunch more questions here. Okay, all right, not a problem, Lance. Absolutely, absolutely. Happy to call. See some questions about the. Okay, yeah, the other software. I'm still seeing a lot of questions about it. That's Mortgage Lead Pages. So if you guys just give me a jingle or just shoot an email to the C. Weber at AverageJoeLO. And this special offer, guys, it is good for 24 hours. Okay, because then we go into our regular monthly payment, which the price point for this will be $99.95. Okay, so you guys are getting about a 20% discount. Plus, instead of the $200 setup fee, because as you might imagine, it's very, very, very time intensive for our people to be logging in and manually setting up funnels and uploading one at a time. We're doing our setup fee for $10 instead of the $199. So that fee, that $200 is completely gone. Okay, so one heck of a deal. So that's good for 24 hours until tomorrow. So if you guys have any questions, if I missed your question, guys, feel free, shoot me a message. Okay, I'm in the rest of the afternoon. I only have one more webinar this afternoon to manage. So I'll get to those as quickly as possible. If you don't hear from me, you'll hear from somebody, and be more than happy to get you squared away. Or if you just want to place your order, mortgageleadmachine.com. See at the top of the page there, guys, mortgageleadmachine.com. Let me pull that up for you here so you can see Mortgage Lead Machine. Here you go. So you just scroll down to the bottom. Okay. On the left, you have the basic edition. On the right is the enhanced edition. Okay. So it's $67 a month for the basic. That's the more do-it-yourself. You're going to upload and build your funnels. The enhanced edition is we do it for you. Like I said, it's $89 the first month because we're just tacking on an extra $10 for us to go in and do all that work for you. I'm sure your time's worth more than that in just a single hour. So definitely worth its weight in gold there. And then $79 a month thereafter. Okay. Also, I hate this. This drives me nuts. So I'm just going to tell you guys about it right now. If you go to the website and buy right now, you'll probably get an email from Zaxa. And it'll give you like a login to Zaxa. That is not your Mortgage Lead Machine confirmation or login. That's the payment processor that we use. And for whatever reason, I'll probably be ditching them because of this, but for whatever reason, they send emails out saying, oh, hey, track all your purchases by logging in here. But it's very confusing to a lot of people who are going, wait, I just bought Mortgage Lead Machine. I'm getting an email from Zaxa. That's just the payment processor, guys. Okay? So, yeah, I'm going to be switching because they drive me nuts. Yes, there will be a replay mark probably within about 24 hours. That replay will be available. All right. Okay, well, guys, I thank you very much for joining us this afternoon, and I hope, if nothing else, even if you're not going to use our Mortgage Lead Machine, guys, I hope that the information that I've given you is valuable in seeing what a proper flow looks like and how we need to be over-delivering with our leads as they come in. I don't care where they come from, Craigslist, Facebook, Google, AdWords, hyperlocal, SEO, blogging, article marketing, video marketing, doesn't matter. When a lead comes in, they need to be made to feel that, hey, this person is not just your typical loan officer, and that's what a proper lead nurture and marketing campaign will do. Okay? Awesome. Let's see, will you? Yeah, actually, Chad, will you be covering marketing and how to try to get these leads? Yes, actually, during the training, Mortgage Lead Machines, we will talk a little bit about the marketing aspect as well. Okay, so just depending on what you guys are looking for, if really you're looking just for upfront marketing, you'll probably want to end up checking out Mortgage Lead Pages because that's what that's designed to do. And this complements and was designed to communicate with Mortgage Lead Pages so that way you have a means of getting the leads, and then once you get the leads, actually turning those leads into closed loans. So Mortgage Lead Machine and Mortgage Lead Pages both play very nicely together. So send me an email or contact us, and we'd be more than happy to give you the discount and bundle both of them together for you. Okay? Great, guys. Well, thanks again for joining us. I hope you make it an awesome rest of the day, and we'll chat soon. All right? Bye, guys. Thanks again.